On our winter storm moving in for your Friday. Everyone's talking about it. Winter weather advisories as well as winter storm warnings are now going up for a good part of the Delaware Valley. So the snowfall totals are going up as well. And we're going to talk all about it in this next half hour. Lots of weather to talk about, of course. Not only do we have the snow, but we have another reinforcing shot of cold air that will be moving in. As far as conditions right now on Ultimate Doppler, we are pretty dry across the area, but a few flakes moving in toward the central and western part of the state. The atmosphere is very dry, so a lot of this is not reaching the ground. It's what we call virga, but overnight tonight, things will really start to moisten up as we watch all of the ingredients come together to produce some snowfall across the area. Now, this particular snowfall we're anticipating for Friday will be a little more significant than what we just saw the past couple of days. We saw that powdery snow because temperatures were in the teens as well as the low 20s. But moving ahead to your Friday, we're talking about temperatures that will be in the upper 20s to low 30s, so it will be more of a wet snow. Let's get to those current alerts. Winter weather advisories in purple, and you can see the fuchsia. Those are winter storm warnings. That now includes Philadelphia County, Delaware County, Chester County, Newcastle County. As you move into northern Delaware, Salem County, you are under a winter storm warning. Camden County, Gloucester County, Burlington County, as well as Ocean County, over to Monmouth County now in a winter storm warning, as well as immediate north and west suburbs. Parts of Montgomery County as well as Bucks County under that winter storm warning. So what that means is that banding feature we were talking about yesterday is likely going to set up shop around the I-95 corridor, north and west suburbs, moving into interior parts of South Jersey, and that will give us that enhanced snowfall. So what this means is that we're looking at probably on the order of 4 to 6 inches within that pink fuchsia color. So that certainly is a little bit of an increase from what we were talking about, but we said that that bullseye zone would be where we see the most snowfall, and that's kind of the area that we're honing in on now. And the National Weather Service has issued those winter storm warnings for the I-95 corridor, north and west suburbs, interior parts of South Jersey. So let's talk a little bit about what we're watching as far as the ingredients. Of course, we're watching some moisture that's going to be moving out of the heartland, interacting with a boundary off to the south of us, and that will kind of spin up an area of low pressure. But that area of low pressure, of course, will be out to sea. So this is not going to be a bona fide nor'easter. We will just see a lot of lift in the atmosphere, and that will give us the chances for snow developing as early as overnight tonight, and by daybreak we're talking about that snowfall moving in. So for your Friday, we're talking about temperatures that will likely be upper 20s to the low 30s, and we're looking at probably a bona fide snow day for most locations across the Delaware Valley, because we're looking at the morning commute that's going to be impacted by snow coming down, as well as that afternoon and evening commute. So conditions will certainly start to get a little treacherous tomorrow on those roadways as we're dealing with a long duration event. As far as the hour-by-hour forecast, you can see what we're going to be watching. We showed you Ultimate Doppler with that moisture through sections of North Dakota, South Dakota, interacting with the boundary off to the south. So we'll kind of go hour by hour. There's the area of low pressure that kind of moves out to sea, and you can see that snow, it starts to develop right along the I-95 corridor, as well as parts of South Jersey into Delaware for the bulk of the day. I mean, this is 11 o'clock. We're still looking at maybe some flurries exiting the shore points, but but that area of low pressure, it is rapidly moving off to the north around Nova Scotia. So here's a look at our exclusive Fox model, and you can see that darker shade of blue, especially as you move toward interior parts of South Jersey, moving into Delaware. That is where we're talking about some of that enhanced snowfall, likely some snowfall rates, maybe 2 inches per hour developing for a time tomorrow afternoon and evening. But moving up that northeast extension toward the Lehigh Valley as well as the Poconos, we're looking at some lesser amounts of snow. So it looks like that bullseye zone will end up being right along the I-95 corridor, immediate suburbs south and east, as well as immediate suburbs to the north and west, where areas are included in that winter storm warning. So once again, it's going to be a long duration event, snowing for most of the day for your Friday. So just be prepared for changing weather conditions. We talked about that morning commute being impacted as well as the afternoon and evening commute. So you'll want to allow for extra travel time on those roadways. I do anticipate multiple delays and cancellations. We're talking about airport delays. Remember, they're going to have to do some de-icing on the runways. As far as the planes, there could be a ground stop for a time at the Philadelphia International Airport. So certainly just keep that in mind. Reduced visibility as well. That could be a problem in some of those steadier bursts of snow where things really start to kind of pick up, almost like a snow squall, where we have light snow and then it picks up in intensity, greatly reducing that visibility across the Delaware Valley. So currently, we'll take a live look at the Philadelphia International Airport. Already kind of iced over from the snow we saw earlier this week. It's currently 32 degrees, so already freezing temperatures across the Delaware Valley. So no question about this that most of it is going to end up being snow across our area. There will be a little bit of mixing that takes place down the shore as well as the Delaware beaches, so that's certainly something that we'll monitor for tomorrow. But you can see fairly quiet conditions right now at the Philadelphia International Airport. I don't really see a lot of activity on the tarmac, so probably already dealing with some delays and cancellations from other locations that are dealing with this snow. So keep in mind that it could be a snowball effect tomorrow with airport delays and cancellations. So certainly check with your carrier, check with what's going to be happening hour by hour as we deal with changes really throughout the day tomorrow. But once again, a live look there at the Philadelphia International Airport. As far as conditions, as we talk about the numbers for the overnight, we're looking at temperatures bottoming out below freezing, pretty much area wide. We're looking at upper 20s in Philadelphia for tonight, below freezing, 25 degrees in Doylestown. Temperatures for the Lehigh Valley bottom out around 18 degrees. We're looking at 30 in Wildwood, 29 in Dover. So once this system evolves overnight tonight, it will start out as snow for most locations. The areas that we see a little bit of mixing likely along the immediate shore points as temperatures creep above freezing for a time tomorrow. But once again, it's really going to be a bona fide snow event for most of the area. So yes, a plowable snow is likely as well. We're looking at snow for most of the day across parts of the Delaware Valley, and some of those snowfall rates could reach 2 inches per hour for a time. So I guess the other day was kind of a dress rehearsal for the main event. So we're looking at temperatures 6 a.m. when you're watching Good Day, right around 27 degrees. We'll move into the upper 20s by 9 a.m. That's when some of that steadier snow starts, I think late morning into the early afternoon time frame as those temperatures climb closer to freezing. And it's going to be that kind of heavier snow, so you'll want to keep that in mind if you're doing any shoveling tomorrow as well. Know that that snow gets pretty heavy. You'll need to take it easy, take breaks, and of course, just listen to your body, because we know that that can cause problems with folks shoveling heavy snow, especially during the winter months in this time of year. You're not used to it. Your body's not acclimated to it as well. So dust off those snow blowers. We are looking at a pretty impactful system for your Friday across the area. So once again, let's kind of break down that timing for the snowfall. We're looking at temperatures cold enough for that snow for most locations by daybreak. So yeah, when you wake up, look out the window, it's probably already going to be doing something across the area. So that's why I do anticipate some of the schools to probably just say, you know what, it's going to probably be a bona fide snow day across the area, because if you send the kids to school and then they have an early dismissal at the height of when the heavy snow begins, that could create more problems. So that's certainly something that we'll be watching later on this afternoon. You'll want to keep it to Fox 29 News at 5, 6, 10, and 11 for school closure information, as well as updates that will likely continue to pour in throughout the afternoon as well as the evening. So once again, by Friday afternoon, that snow continues, of course. We're looking at it probably picking up in intensity in some spots, and by Friday evening, the system starts to taper off, but not before leaving probably 4 to 6 inches in most locations. So if you were watching us yesterday, we were talking about that banding feature that would likely set up shop somewhere along or just to the south and east of the I-95 corridor. So that is still the thinking, especially as we look at our latest computer model information, that we're talking about 4 to 6 inches of snow for a good swath of the viewing area. So that includes places like Mount Laurel, Chemung, Medford Lakes, as you move into sections of Camden County, Voorhees, Atco, Haddonfield, moving into Gloucester County, around the Deptford area, Glassboro, looking at that 4 to 6 inch range, as well as portions of Salem County. Also, as you move into northern Newcastle County, we're talking Hockessin, Newark, Wilmington, looking at that potential for 4 to 6 inches. Moving into Delaware County, looking at that 4 to 6 inch swath, as well as sections of Montgomery County and also into Bucks County. So once again, this snow will be several inches more than what we saw earlier in the week, when most locations ended up with about 3 to 4 inches. So we're talking a few more inches than what we observed the other day. And also that consistency of the snow, the texture, will be a little more of the wetter snow variety, with temperatures in the upper 20s to low 30s as opposed to the low 20s, as well as for the teens. Now, let's talk a little bit about the shore. We're talking about Cape May County being in a coating to maybe 2 inches of snow. That's where we will see a little more of the mixing taking place. And then you move far to the north and west, places that typically see most of the snow will probably end up with maybe 2 to 4 inches. Places like Reading, Allentown, into sections of the Poconos out of the storm system. So the temperature changes will be happening for the upcoming weekend behind this storm system, as temperatures will be dipping to some of the coldest we've seen in a couple of years. And then we will see temperatures rebound as we get toward next week. So once again, we still have a lot of information to digest and to cover here on Fox Local Philly Weather here on this busy Thursday. The Fox 29 Weather Authority is busy looking at updates, creating graphics and maps. And we're going to take a quick break, but we will be right back with more information on snow expected for Friday. You'll want to keep it here. And welcome back into Fox Local Philadelphia weather. I'm meteorologist Scott Williams. Lots of information to digest here on this calm before the storm. Of course, we're keeping tabs on a storm system that will impact our area with a measurable snowfall during the day on Friday, and it will likely be snowing from start to finish. So we're talking about the morning commute being impacted as well as the afternoon and the evening commute. So delays and cancellations will be flowing in as we talk about an updated winter weather advisory, as well as winter storm warnings now going up, and that includes the immediate Philadelphia area. So Ultimate Doppler right now is showing us that we're looking at some light precipitation and associated with a piece of energy, piece of the puzzle, if you will, that will kind of produce this storm system across our area for your Friday. It's off to the west of us and also through sections of the Midwest. So we're going to be keeping tabs on those advisories as well as the winter storm warnings. Now take a look. A good part of the area now under some type of advisory or warning. Yesterday we had all winter weather advisories. Those are in purple. Now we have mostly winter storm warnings. That includes Newcastle County, Chester County, Delaware County, Philadelphia County, sections of Montgomery, Bucks County, north and west suburbs, interior parts of South Jersey. We're talking about Gloucester County, Camden County, as well as sections of Ocean County and Burlington County in those winter storm warnings. So that means that we're talking about several more inches of snow than what we saw earlier in the week. And you can see around Iowa, Nebraska, we're looking at one piece of the puzzle as well as some energy moving through sections of the Tennessee River Valley. So all of that is going to merge out to sea overnight tonight and during the day on Friday to produce some snow across our area. So we're talking about accumulating snow, a plowable snow event for some locations, most locations, in fact, away from the shore, as well as you move into interior South Jersey and our north and west suburbs. So you can kind of watch how that energy comes together out of the Midwest and interacts with that moisture we were showing you around the Tennessee River Valley to form that area of low pressure. The low itself is going to be out to sea, so this is not a bona fide nor'easter, but we will have lift across the Delaware Valley, and that will help produce some of those steadier amounts of snow as far as some of those higher snowfall totals that we anticipate across the I-95 corridor. So we talked about this yesterday, our exclusive Fox 29 Fox model, and you can see what we're watching as far as some of the enhanced precipitation, especially south and east of the I-95 corridor. So once you move toward 295, the New Jersey Turnpike, as you move along portions of the HC Expressway as well, we're looking at that darker blue. So for a time tomorrow afternoon, those locations will see some moderate to heavy snow, and that will extend along the I-95 corridor as well as some of our immediate north and west suburbs. But I also want you to note how the snow is not quite as intense for areas of the Poconos, the Lehigh Valley, or Berks County, and those locations are still under a winter weather advisory. So that is just kind of an indication of where we think things will play out and how things will play out. It looks like most of the snow will be along the I-95 corridor and immediate suburbs, either south and east or north and west. And that's why we have those winter storm warnings that have now been posted for the I-95 corridor and those immediate suburbs. 32 degrees, no question about it. It's cold enough for snow. We talked about how this would be one of the coldest weeks so far this season, one of the coldest weeks we've seen in quite some time. And as we look at the forecast for tonight, temperatures area-wide dipping into the 20s, back below freezing across parts of the area that didn't really get above freezing for today. So once again, this is going to be a long duration event for your Friday. We're looking at snow for most of the day, and you can see that snow plow going by. That's probably going to be a popular sight to see tomorrow as folks try and keep tabs of the snow and try and keep some of the roadways clear across parts of the area. So we'll take you hour by hour and look at this forecast, and then we'll take a quick break. We're looking at temperatures tomorrow morning starting in the upper 20s to low 30s, and that snow continues pretty much all day into the early afternoon as well as the early evening. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back and we'll kind of recap the entire system, and we'll go hour by hour and county by county to talk about who will see the most snow out of this event. Keep it here to Fox Local. Welcome back to Fox Local. I'm Fox 29 meteorologist Scott Williams as we are preparing for a snowstorm on your Friday, really from daybreak until sunset. We're talking about snow falling across the Delaware Valley. So let's talk about what's happening right now on Ultimate Doppler. We're kind of watching some of the pieces of energy come together. Off to the west of us, we're looking at a few light flurries and some snow showers. A lot of that's not making it to the ground because the atmosphere is too dry, but we will watch the system evolve overnight tonight, and by daybreak, when you wake up, it will be snowing in some locations. So the morning commute as well as that afternoon and evening commute will be impacted. So once again, we're talking about inconvenient weather, and we're talking about slick roadways. Untreated surfaces will become snow covered. Reduced visibility is expected across the Delaware Valley as well as we continue to watch some of that moderate to heavy snow kind of evolve and develop in some locations, as we were talking about yesterday, some of that banding, and that's where we'll get some of those elevated snowfall totals. But a good swath of the area will see up to 4, maybe as much as 6 inches of snow out of this storm system. So as far as the overall timeline, by daybreak, the light snow, it is moving in. For the afternoon, that snow continues and it picks up in intensity in some spots where that banding sets up. By the evening, I'd say probably around 7, 8 o'clock, the snow really starts to taper off as the storm system pulls away. So let's get you back to the advisories, alerts, and warnings. You can see everywhere in South Jersey is under some type of warning or advisory. The fuchsia, that was just added this afternoon, about an hour ago. We're talking about winter storm warnings now posted for Gloucester County, Salem County, Camden County, Burlington County, interior Ocean County, as well as Monmouth County. Then as you move toward Bensalem area, you're now under a winter storm warning. Into sections of Montgomery County, Norristown, you're under a winter storm warning. As you move into Delaware County Media, you're now under a winter storm warning, as well as Westchester and all of Chester County, Newcastle County under the warning as well. So we're talking about that particular zone where some moderate to heavy snow establishes itself for a time. So we're looking at about 4 to 6 inches. Places like Glassboro, Deptford, Wilmington, Westchester, Radnor, Doylestown, Trenton, Philadelphia, even in that 4 to 6 inch zone. Mount Laurel, most of Burlington County, Chemung, Medford Lakes, as you move toward Moorestown, Cinnaminson, Delran. So, I mean, what a turn of events. Last week we were talking about flooding in some of these areas, and now you're talking about 4 to 6 inches of snow. So once again, we're looking at a long duration event. Let's take one last look at our exclusive Fox model, and that paints the picture of the system evolving throughout the day on your Friday, starting out as light snow, then picking up in intensity. And of course, we're looking at it snowing for most of the day. You'll want to keep it to Fox Local for continuing coverage as well as updates throughout the day. We'll have new information a little later on Fox Local when I join you again in that 4 o'clock hour, as well as coverage beginning on our news at 5 and 6. Have a great day and keep it to Fox Local.